Welcome into another edition of Catching Up with Tommy Mack here on 1010XL's podcast platform at 1010XL.com. Of course, on 1010XL's app. Make sure you download the app. Check out all the great programming. Of course, whether it's live on the radio or in the podcast section and archive section. We're live on Facebook, of course, as we always are, 1010's page. My own page, Good Morning Facebook, and that'll be shared all throughout the world of social media. Brought to you by my good friend, you see my hat, Chris Lucero, Bail Bonds, used to be named AA Bail Bonds, down in St. Augustine, rebranding, redoing it, but it's the same service. You get in a pinch, you're thrown in the clink. You don't want to spend a lot of time in a clink, right? I never have. I'm not speaking from experience, but I got to imagine you don't want to. Make sure you call Chris Lucero, Bail Bonds, the number one name in the bail game, 904-822-BAIL. That's 904-822-2345. We'll talk about the other great sponsors. I got awesome sponsors, man. I just love representing cool companies and good companies right here in our area and beyond. Let's welcome in my good friend and producer of the show, Graham Marsh. What's up, Grammage?
Good morning, sir.
I think that's my name for you. I always have a nickname for people that I like, so I think Grammage might be the name.
Thank you, sir.
No, nothing to do with any kind of drugs or anything like that. But your name's Graham, and Grammage. I've gotten
Grambo before as well.
Grambo.
That's been
very nice. You have a good weekend?
I did. Great weekend.
Great weekend, man. It's hot out there. It was
been kind of hitting it hard last couple weekends in terms of either going out of town or celebrating the 4th or kind of doing a lot of stuff. So the GF and I hung back, and it was a pretty chill weekend.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
Kind of slept in, took it easy.
Yep.
That type of stuff. It was a nice, restful catch-up on sleep type of weekend.
I did yard work. I cut two yards on Saturday. Everyone's bitching about the heat. I'm like, I went out there around noontime and banged out mine and banged down my in-laws. So did that and then chilled the rest of the day. Had a great time at the beach by myself. My wife was at a photo shoot for the cheerleaders. The former cheerleaders did some kind of photo shoot. My two girls were on the couch watching Kardashians or Kardashians, whatever you want to call them, whatever. They love that show. And then I'm like, the rain just stopped and it poured. I was like, I'm going down to the beach, man. It's the best time to go. Nobody was down there. It was fantastic. Clean, just like a lake. Got in the water a little bit, got some rays, listened to some tunes, and I always feel closer to God when I'm sitting there on the ocean, man. I just that energy. I just love it.
We were just talking about off air before we got on, like how right after it rains is one of the most underrated times to go to the beach.
Yep.
Also, going by yourself is one of the most underrated ways to go to the beach.
I agree.
Getting that I mean, I'm a people person. I like being around people. I'm very extroverted.
Totally.
But when you're at the beach, man, there's something about being there alone. No one's talking to you. You can kind of just like you're saying, you can put some tunes on,
zone
whatever.
Out, just chill out, think about things.
There's something so peaceful about that. It's just the best feeling ever.
Now adds doing stretching down there. Then you're really into a zen. I love doing that. I go down there and I stretch all the time. I actually did it this morning. My Kelsey girl and I got up early and headed over to Planet Fitness. We go our separate ways, my 19-year-old, and then she tells me when she's ready. Gives me the 5-minute warning. I'm like, all right, I can wrap it up, and out we go. But got a good stretch, and definitely get the stretch in. All right, lots to get into. You're like, oh, it's downtime. No, there's no downtime. What are you talking about? There's uptime, all times. There's good things to talk about, of course. I'm going to get into this list I noticed. USA Today put out their power rankings, their first one. They call it training camp. I'll tell you where the Jags are at, and we'll just kind of go through it, not team by team because I don't care about all the teams, but teams that are significant, teams that are interesting, where they're at on the list, and where our hometown team comes in as well. Of course, local news, Doug Peterson and company signs Josh Peterson, his son and tight end, who just finished up with the Houston Gamblers, a USFL team. He's a smart kid, this kid, going with his dad because he plays tight end. I mean, where else would you want to go? Look, I know some people make some snide remarks here and there. Look, the kid's got the goods. He's got the goods. They don't bring him in if he doesn't have the goods. I mean, that's just the way it is. That's the way Doug Peterson Doug Peterson Rose. I remember when I came in for my workout in 1994 here with the Jags at Bishop Kenny. And then I had to meet Coughlin after, and we sat down. He was like, look, I don't know who we're going to bring in. You had a great workout. I'm happy to see you stayed in shape, yada, yada, yada. He's like, but if I sign you, you got to know, regardless of our relationship, if you're not good enough, you're not going to be on my team. And I said, Coach, that's all I want. I'm not here for favors. I'm here for a chance. And ended up giving me the chance. So I know Doug's like that. Look, if the kid can play, he's in a good spot. Look, Ingram, of course, the young kid out of Penn State remains to be seen, but you like what you see so far in Strange. Farrell, and then Jarrett Prince. So I don't know Jarrett Prince. Who's Jarrett Prince? Is he a new rookie?
Yeah,
new guy to the team?
Yeah, he's also one of the biggest people I've ever seen in my life.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah.
Wow, so they might like him for blocking. I don't know. We'll see. The kid, look, he's not going to probably get in the way of Ingram or Strange, but if he can produce and he can run down on special teams, I care less if it's kid. I trust in Doug. You know what I'm saying? And I didn't even mean to point to my shirt right now. It just came to me. But you know what? If they think he's good enough, hey, he came off a nice, 10 games, 24 catches, 325 yards. That's over. What's that? That's a pretty decent yards per catch getting down the field for the Houston Gamblers. So good for him. Good. Hey, I think I've told this story before. You give it 3 tries. Give it a good 3 tries. And after that 3rd try you don't make it, then maybe you think about doing something else. But until that happens, I say go for it. Not so much Jag news, but we're going to get back into it. Lenny Fournette is I don't think anything's going to happen. It sounds like, his car caught on fire on I-275. Did you see that?
I did. That was crazy.
Yeah. And he first said, I don't know, it was kind of acting funny. Just caught on fire. And some witness allegedly said, no, he was racing a motorcycle down I-275 at high speeds and it caught on fire. I'm glad he's okay. The only reason I'm really bringing this up is, I guess on occasion I'll race, but not like because I want to. I don't know. I guess what's the fascination with like drag racing, like on the street, like to show, like, if both cars can go 120, then is it just to show the machoism or the balls to just keep going? You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, what drives that? I wonder. Because you go back to like the Outsiders. It's like a drag race. It's like a fist fight. It's man or we man, or like I guess I never really got that, like that gene to where, you want to race? Here we go. If it was on foot and I could run fast, yeah, I'd be racing people all day long. But the car racing, I don't get. Again, I'm glad Leonard Fournette's okay. But that could have been really, really scary. It had to be really scary catching on fire like that.
Well, the most important thing, like we just talked about, is that he's okay, which is great. Totally. Really, really happy that he's okay. Really happy he's healthy and fine, was able to get out. Because he's okay, I feel more comfortable saying this.
Yep.
Saying it just happened.
Yeah.
Bro, come on.
Yeah.
How often you driving down the interstate and the car next to you just bursts into flames?
Good one. Well,
that doesn't happen.
I'm not a car guy, but let's just say you don't change the oil.
Neither am I, but I don't see cars catch on fire on a regular basis. I know that.
Without hitting something, right? Just poof.
Right. It's like
it's like when a fish gets caught in a school. All of a sudden, it's gone.
It's like, I was bumping Aerosmith too hard. I was bumping Aerosmith too hard, and it just caught on fire. Like,
well, can the oil cause a fire? I don't know. I'm not a car guy, but I'm glad he's okay. I also wrote down, I drag racing, fist fight, and black coffee, because recently I had a woman who was serving me kind of like make fun of me putting cream in my coffee. And I'm like, is that like tough? Like you're tougher if you just go black? Like, I don't, you know what I mean? Like, I'm softening up the cup of coffee. Like, what's going on? Anyway, I found that funny.
Was it like at a restaurant, or where was it?
Yeah, it was like at a restaurant, like a breakfast place. She's like, oh, can I put some coffee in your creamer or something like that? I was like, do I put too much creamer in my? She just kind of laughed and walked off.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Are you like a big creamer guy
I'm
or
a
like
big creamer guy, but I like a little creamer in my coffee.
Yeah,
now,
me too.
Now I did have up in Nashville because I had some time to kill. I really didn't know what it was, and I still don't. But I had a French press.
Yeah.
What is it?
My parents have a French press.
Okay, it's just coffee. I didn't have anything in that other than the French press, and that was pretty tasty.
Just really fancy coffee, basically.
Oh, it's fancy. Okay,
Yeah.
I didn't really understand what I was.
Takes
getting.
longer to make. It's more sophisticated.
Okay, that seems like a waste of time.
There's more to it than just putting the grounds in the maker and
my
filtering
daughter
the
Avery,
water.
and she's got the Nespresso, the little guy. I'm like, this thing, I want to throw it out the window. Like, just pour me a cup of coffee. I don't want like just this much. I want.
Dude, I'm the same way, dude. I can't.
Funny.
Those really, because I love coffee. Like I drink coffee every morning, sometimes in the afternoon too.
Yeah.
But I'm the same way. Like when it's anything other than just some damn coffee, it drives me crazy.
Yeah.
I'm like, just make the coffee. It's
just
so
coffee.
easy.
I just need a pot of coffee.
Like
I'm okay with Mr. Coffee. I don't need some fancy
great.
nothing. I just need a pot of coffee.
Mr. Coffee is fantastic.
Absolutely.
To me, it's like an if it ain't broke, don't fix it situation.
Yeah.
When have you ever had your morning cup of Joe from your Mr. Coffee and been like, this isn't enough?
No, I agree.
You've never thought that before.
No. Well, you can always make another pot if you want to.
Yeah, just make more. Yeah. It's great.
Just make more. No doubt about it. Hey, did you see Sha'Carri Richardson? I like this chick. She's fat, the sprinter.
Yeah.
Taking off her wig.
Yeah.
Wasn't that great? And then she beat everybody with her best time ever, broke a record.
Risky move, because if you take off the wig, you have to win.
Oh, you got to win.
You have to win.
Oh, great point. No doubt.
You're not taking...
And she's a good-looking girl, man, who can fly.
You better not rip off the wig and come in fourth.
Yeah.
If you rip off the wig, you have to smoke every last girl next to you.
You're right.
That's
and
a rule.
Did.
And she did.
She did.
She whooped their ass, bro.
And like broke a record too.
Yeah, and it was when she took off that wig, you knew she was winning.
Yeah.
You saw the look in her face. She's like, I'm winning this damn race.
That was great. I love seeing. I saw that video early this morning. I was up early and through my Twitter feed. And I was like, oh, I got to watch it. I like this chick. And then I was like, oh, wow. And she got beautiful praise. Whatever, but she smoked him. And you're right. She did have to stand up to it. Hey, this isn't Jag related, and we'll get into this in just a minute. Julius Peppers, Museum Muhammad for the Carolina Panthers being inducted into the Ring of Honor. The reason I'm bringing this up, I thought of Julius Peppers, and I thought, was there at his time of playing, right? It's not an era. It's not that long ago. But was he not one of the most gifted, athletic, menacing, like football players you've ever seen?
Yeah. God, yes.
He was an unbelievable player.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, he's got to be first. He's got to be first ballot Hall of Famer.
When
he's
did he
got
retire?
150 sacks, doesn't he? Not too long ago, maybe 3-4 years ago. He's coming up, I would think. But when I saw that they were, and Moose was good too. He was a really good wide receiver for Carolina. But Julius Peppers, holy cow!
Well, Peppers was
unreal.
He was in Carolina, then he went to Chicago, then he went back to Carolina.
That's right. That's right.
And he retired in Carolina, right? I don't think he went anywhere else after that.
No, he didn't.
I think he stayed in Carolina until the wheels fell off.
But he played for like 14 years or 12 years.
He had a really long career.
Man,
if you can play,
incredible.
I think being able to play on the defensive line and have a long career is one of the most impressive feats you can do in sports.
No doubt. And he was a basketball player.
Yeah.
That's what's even more impressive.
Which it makes sense he played basketball, though, because for his size, the way he could move. And that's what made him so damn good.
No doubt.
Because he was big and strong, but there's a lot of dudes like him in the league that are big and strong.
No, you're right.
But if you're tough to keep up with, especially for those interior linemen, you're impossible to stop.
I agree.
It's like Aaron Donald right now.
They should do, by the way, seen those trade rumors?
For who?
Not for Aaron Donald.
Yes.
Wow. Man, they're unloading.
Listen,
win a Super Bowl, you could do it, right?
They went all in. And that...
Can't blame them.
I don't know if I've ever seen a Super Bowl ring be bought more than that one was.
I agree.
I mean, every contributor.
So what? Who cares?
Oh, no,
although they
drafted
totally agree. Donald. They drafted Donald.
Yeah, but he was on his...
Right, they took a chance on Stafford, although I've always liked Stafford. That was somewhat of a... I mean, Jared Goff's playing good ball.
To be fair to that team...
He could have another big year.
To be fair to that team that won it all, their two best players were drafted players.
Right.
Aaron Donald and Cooper Kupp.
Mm-hmm.
But everybody else was a big trade guy. Von Miller, Jalen Ramsey, Stafford.
Yep.
Like, without those guys, you don't win the ring. But they won the ring. To your point, they won the ring.
Yeah.
You win the ring. Who the hell cares?
Van Jefferson, he was a pick, I think.
He was.
He was good. He's a good player.
Van is a really good player. He was so awesome at Florida. I loved him at Florida.
Yeah. Unbelievable. All right, let's get into this list because I found this very, very interesting. Before I do, I want to tell you about J-Dog junk removal, J-Dog junk removal, and hauling any of your junk, and it doesn't have to be junk. It can be appliances, it can be couches, anything you need moved out of your home or your office or your storage unit, what have you. They're going to try to refurbish as much as they can. Their last stop, of course, is they got to get rid of it, but that's what they do. They'll do it with integrity and trust. They clean up at the end. They're very respectful. They are veteran-owned and operated. They're looking for more veterans. If you know a veteran out there looking for work or looking to get into something, make sure you check out J-Dog Junk Removal at JDogJunkRemoval.com. All right, here we go. USA Today's got their list. I don't know if you've seen this, Graham. 2023 NFL Power Rankings.
I have not.
Don't get too excited. I don't get too excited. It's the training camp version, all right? I'll tell you where the Jags are at in just a minute. I found a few things interesting. So top 5, top 4 especially, I think everybody could name. Give me your top 4 right off the bat.
Top 4 power rankings that they have, Chiefs, Eagles, Bengals, and Bills.
Yep. San Fran, they have number 5. Isn't it amazing that and you see it not just in this list, that without even knowing who their quarterback's going to be. Now, they've got, obviously they got Darnold, they got Purdy, hopefully coming back healthy, and then they got Trey Lance, the youngster who wild card. You don't know what you're going to get out of. But to me, that's pretty amazing. So that must mean the trust and belief they have in Kyle Shanahan. It's got to be. It's his system. It's okay who's there. If it's Darnold, he's going to be great. You know what I mean? And now we know their defense is great, and they're going to be great unless, they don't stay healthy. But I do find that interesting at number 5 with the fact that, if Purdy's healthy and, I mean, look, if he doesn't get hurt, who knows what happens. I'm not taking anything away from Philly. You won the game fair and square, but if he doesn't get hurt, who knows what happens in that game. But now it's a big question mark at that position.
If you're taking quarterback out of the equation, like if you were all 32 teams, if you were to take the quarterback out.
Okay, they might be higher.
I think they have – do they have the best roster in the league? Outside of the quarterback position, because QB is the most important. So, I would argue that the Chiefs might have the best roster in the league simply because Mahomes is that good.
Yeah,
for example.
Okay, fair.
But if you take quarterback out of the equation, pound for pound, San Francisco probably has. Them or the Eagles.
Debo, Kittle, McCaffrey.
That's ridiculous.
That's pretty incredible.
And Brandon Ayuk is really good.
Ayuk is. You're right. And they got a good O-line, a tough O-line.
Trent Williams, dude.
Trent Williams. I mean, give me a break. Yeah, you're naming 4 or 5 top.
Think about on defense, bro.
Yep.
Nick Bosa.
Oh, Bosa's ridiculous.
Oh my God. The safety that
Warner.
guy. Fred Warner's insane.
He's insane.
Their safety, he kind of reminds me of Troy Polamalu. He's got the long hair and everything. I forgot his name, but he's really good.
Oh yeah, I don't know his name escapes.
You know who I'm talking about?
Yeah,
though.
I do.
He's really
absolutely.
good.
Yeah.
And they got Kyle Shanahan.
I think Shanahan needs more respect than he probably gets out there. Their teams are good under him.
Again, it's just the only thing with them is that they don't have a Mahomes or a Burrow or someone like that.
Well, they thought they were getting a Lance, Trey Lance,
and he might be. We
still
haven't really seen.
Way too early to decide on him. All right, now after the top 5, which I think we're all pretty cool with, it gets a little interesting. I'm just gonna give it to you, number 6. The Jets.
Yeah, I don't like that.
I don't like that. I mean, look, I love Aaron Rodgers, but there is no guarantee it works out there. I don't care who's coming with him. I don't care whose coordinator is. You just never know. And I don't think now they've got a really good defense. There's no doubt about that.
They got a good roster too.
They have a very good good roster, no doubt about that. But does Rodgers take him over? Maybe in that retrospect he does. But man, I think that's high for them. There's Cowboys at 7. Go ahead. I'm sorry. What?
I have not seen enough of the Jets to put them at 6 to justify that.
No, I mean, look.
The Niners, I've seen it. I've seen them in the playoffs.
No doubt. Regardless of who the QB is.
Yeah.
Yeah, agreed.
So the Niners have earned that. But the Jets,
out, man, they got a good D. They got
a
good line.
Really good D, and they might have a great year,
right?
But there's too many unknowns there for it to
put them that high. I might put them in the top 10. Cowboys at 7. I don't know about that one.
I don't either.
That seems questionable. Now you got 8, 9, and 10. Chargers, Dolphins. And then our Jacksonville Jaguars at number 10, which I'm okay with. I'm not okay with Miami being in front of us, although it all lies on Tua. They've got a great roster.
Yeah.
I mean, they got a great defense. They had Jalen Ramsey. They got a great offensive line. They've got weapons. But if Tua's healthy, then, yeah, they're going to make a run for it. But I don't know. I don't know if I'm sold on that one at all. And the Chargers, I don't know. I think offensively they have as much potential to score as many points as us. They have that kind of firepower. I don't know about their defense, although, you got the other Bosa there when he doesn't freak out.
And
he really freaked out. Was that last year when Joey kind of lost his mind?
Yeah, it was in the Jags game. In the
Jags
wild card game.
Right. It was the wild card game.
He's the reason that Trevor was able to go for 2 and reach the ball across the goal line.
Yeah.
But I understand every year's a new year. Every roster's a little different. You reset from 0. You don't get to pick up where you left off the season before. I understand all that. But does the Jaguars not beating them twice?
Why are we ahead of them? Great point.
One time in the playoffs. In one of the best comebacks in NFL history.
Yep.
And then once at their place convincingly by double digits. Is that not enough to put the Jaguars ahead of them?
It absolutely should be, without question.
I mean,
in Miami, I think we should be ahead of Miami too. Now, number 11's Baltimore. We went toe-to-toe with them. I think that's fair. Vikings are 12. Seattle 13. I don't know if I'm totally sold on Seattle. We'll see if Geno can get the magic going another year. They got weapons, there's no doubt. Detroit at 14. I think they should be a little higher. I think they're going to be a good team this year.
I really like Detroit too. I think
do too.
I don't know how you can put Detroit at 14 and the Jets at 6.
Agreed.
I think they're.
I wouldn't put Detroit at 6 though.
No. But what I'm saying is I think both of them.
Yep.
I think Detroit should slide a little bit further up, and the Jets should slide a little bit back, and there should be less of a gap between those two teams.
Yeah. How about this? In the bottom 6, 27 through 32, the rest of the AFC South is in it.
That doesn't surprise me.
Tennessee's, I tell you, I'm not ruling them out. Indy and Houston, I get they've got a lot of work to do, but I think if Tennessee gets back, they'll get back Landry, their number 1 pass rusher, right? They've got a good roster. It's not like they don't. They threw a load at DeAndre Hopkins. I read
he didn't want to go there. Dude.
Yeah, where is he going? Did he sign yet?
He hasn't decided. But all the reports are that the Titans are throwing the kitchen sink at him.
Yeah, I saw that.
And he's not going.
He should. I mean, look, Tannehill's not the best, but Tannehill he can at least complete passes. He's not going to carry the offense. But with the running game, I tell you what, you saw what they couldn't do without Tannehill last year. They couldn't move the ball at all through the air, at all whatsoever. So, we'll see where they end up. But I wouldn't count them out. But I would the others. Bears fans, you're at 23. I think you're going to be higher than that. I think Fields is ready to break out. I think they've added weapons. I like their coach. I like their GM, and it's a starting point, right? I mean, they got Pittsburgh at 18. If Pickett comes to life, like if he becomes just even a good quarterback, they should have a pretty tough team. I think Pittsburgh's going to be a tougher out. Now, if they don't, you're kind of screwed, I think. I mean, what are you going to go to Mason? Is Mason Rudolph still there?
I don't know.
Who's the backup to
I'm not sure.
Pittsburgh? But I don't see that. The Saints are at 19. Carr's great for, yards and stats.
Derek Carr elevates their floor. in my opinion.
They still got weapons, too.
But he doesn't raise their ceiling much.
No.
I think he just makes them – they won't be a disaster. I think they'll win anywhere from 6 to 8 games.
Well, the Raiders are 31st, so he upgraded in talent to 18 or 19.
Raiders are 31. Wow.
I know.
Wow.
Cardinals are last. How'd you like to be the owner of the Cardinals? You got a quarterback that you gave 190 and guaranteed millions, and you're 32nd.
Well, the entire
narrative. It's a quarterback-driven league, and my franchise QB has got us 32nd. I wouldn't be happy about that.
Well, the entire narrative is that they're going to tank for Caleb Williams.
Yeah.
There's always a narrative of at least one team that's regardless of how true it actually is, there's always a narrative that at least one team is trying to tank, and especially when there's a good who everyone thinks is going to be a really good quarterback coming out of the draft.
Well, you can't be Arizona tanking.
Everybody thinks that Arizona is going to eat this year and take Caleb Williams and move on.
Give up all that money to Kyler Murray.
Well, they did draft Kyler Murray right after taking Josh Rosen top 10 the year before.
That's true.
They're not a franchise that hasn't done it before. I hear what you're saying, but
I mean, that would be. I mean, granted, the owner's like, whatever, we can write that.
I saw a tweet, and I don't know if I disagree with. I think I actually might agree with this, which is kind of crazy to say, judging by everything that's happened, and judging by what we're talking about here. The tweet said, Kyler Murray might now be the most underrated player in the league because people are so down on him. It's like he's still a good quarterback.
He's a good street ball quarterback. Like, you can't catch him. I mean, you see him running around like he's like Doug Flutie back in college. You cannot, or Fran Tarkenton with you can't catch him. I mean, he's good in that regard. He's got a great arm. He just, I mean, I don't know. He the story. He doesn't like studying. He doesn't like doing anything.
But the league
32nd. Oh,
today's league is designed for street ball more than it's ever been.
Yeah.
Yep. I mean, he has been really good. He's taken that team. I know they lost in the playoffs, but he took that team to the playoffs.
Yeah.
It's not like he's Blaine Gabbert or something. You know what I mean?
Agree.
Like,
I totally agree with that.
He's not the
32nd ranked quarterback in the league by far. He's not.
He's probably the third best QB in the NFC?
In the NFC?
The NFC is terrible quarterbacks wise. Every good QB almost is in you got Hurts.
Got Dak.
Probably Dak, and then he's probably next, right? Unless I'm missing somebody, but I don't think. Maybe Kirk Cousins. Kirk Cousins probably ahead of him.
Yeah, maybe. I'm thinking
they might be the same.
I mean, Goff. I think Goff's gonna have a big year.
I like Goff a lot too. You're right.
I think he's gonna have a big year.
But he's in that mix,
he's in
right?
That mix, yeah, of course.
I mean, if someone told you Kyler Murray's better than Jared Goff, you might disagree, but you wouldn't be like, that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
No, you could one-on-one, but within a team, I'm going Goff. You know what I mean? If you're going
I can agree with that.
Measurables, I may go with Kyler, but as far as being in a system and playing,
I agree with that.
I'm taking Goff in that regard. Denver at 29. I'm surprised with Sean Payton. I expect them to turn that around. I do think that Russell, granted, Sean's got to keep his head out of the sky, I think, a little bit. But I think he will and already started to. I would expect Denver to be pretty competitive this year. I mean, I'm not saying they're going to be vying for the AFC top or anything like that, but they should be a lot more competitive. And I think Russell Wilson's going to have a lot better year. I mean, he was, you watch him, you saw the guys breaking him down on pregame shows and whatnot. I mean, he was just not seeing anything.
Yeah.
He'd be standing there, a guy would be wide open. He's like looking over here, and you're like, he's right there. Like, just turn your head a little bit and hit him. And even the analysts are like dumbfounded. Like, what's he doing? This isn't normal play by him. What's going on?
I think it was a little bit reminiscent of rookie year Trevor.
Yep.
Where clearly the coaching situation was not what it needed to be. Clearly the culture that was set that entire training camp was not where it needed to be.
Yep.
So because of that, first couple weeks don't go as planned. First couple weeks look pretty bad. You don't play well. The team doesn't play well. You lose.
Yep.
People are asking questions. People are like, what's going on? And before you know it, you're just kind of mentally totally shot, and you can't even think straight. I think that happened to Russell. Like after week 3 or 4, it was clear after that he just wasn't right.
Well, if he needs all this stuff, like all these coaches,
100% agree.
That's diva-esque. Like,
100% agree.
We really need your own personal whatever inside the building.
Tons of that was his fault.
Hell out of here.
Tons of that was his own fault. 100%. I agree.
So I'm going to move the Jets down. Look, the Jags to me, and I'm trying to be as unbiased as possible. After the top 5, I don't think you can deny. I don't think they're top 5 at this moment. And the top 5: KC, Philly, Buffalo, Cincy, San Fran. We're going head to head with San Fran. It's gonna be a great game. Another great home game. We got a great home schedule. There's no doubt about it. You can buy tickets, man. It's gonna be insane. But I can see them right around 7. I mean, I'd put them above the Chargers per your argument, no doubt. And Miami, I think we're better than Miami because of Trevor.
I do too. I think we're better than Miami.
I'd move Baltimore up too. Baltimore would go ahead of Miami too, in my opinion. But I think the Chargers are right there. I think Jags and the Chargers are a good one-on-one, with us having the advantage based on what happened last year, not just once but twice.
I mean, you beat a team twice. You should be ranked ahead of them the following year.
Totally agree with that.
Until proven otherwise.
Totally agree with that. See, you can always figure out something for a show, man. I like these lists. They don't really mean anything. I mean, what do they mean? They don't really mean anything.
It's just
but they're fun to talk about because you got to be realistic. Like someone, the top. I don't know if the Jags played San Fran tomorrow, who would win? I think it's pretty close. None of these are blowouts. I mean, they've shown.
It's almost
Philly's
like
the one that worries me the most because they smacked the crap out of us.
The lists like that, it's almost like looking at the schedule in terms of. I think the better way to look at stuff like that is what kind of tier are you in, and look at a couple of teams and where you might belong. Same thing with the schedule. It's like, I think the better way to look at a schedule instead of win, loss, win is like, okay, out of these 3 to 4 games, how many do you think they'll drop and pick up?
Right.
Kind of the same thing.
Dude, they've got Buffalo, as you know, Cincy, and the 49ers, and the Chiefs.
It's a great schedule. It's a hard schedule. I don't think it's that. I think it's a top-heavy schedule.
3 out of 4 at home, by the way. How awesome is that?
So awesome. I also
really
think
incredible.
I think it's easy to look at all those good teams that the Jags have to play and say, wow, they got such a hard schedule.
Yep.
I think it's a top-heavy schedule, but outside of those top teams.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Now, no schedule in the NFL is easy.
No
schedule in the NFL is easy.
They got the NFC South, right?
Yes,
yeah,
which is not a good division.
You got to like that.
You get the NFC South and the AFC South, which are probably the 2 worst divisions in football. So that's what? 10 games?
Yeah, the NFC South, you got Atlanta 26. Again, it doesn't mean that much, but New Orleans 19, Tampa 20, Carolina ranked the highest. It's 17th.
All 10 of those games between the NFC and the AFC South, if they were played today, the Jaguars would be favored.
Favored, yeah.
If you're going to be favored in 10 games, you can't say you have that hard of a schedule.
At the
opinion.
Saints on a Thursday night, maybe a little different. We'll see. But
perhaps.
They can I know we talk rosters. They match up really well against all of them, without question. Hey, I told you on Tuesday I welcomed a brand new member to the Tommy Mac team, the family. That's Azar Sausage Company, 3rd generation, locally bred and operated, homegrown, down home, some of the best sausage you'll ever have. Yes, I've had it. I wouldn't promote it if I didn't like it. It's absolutely incredible. Their hot sausage, their mild, is really, really good. Make sure you ask your local grocer. They're in Winn-Dixie, Select Winn-Dixie, and Publix's as well. Check them out. And I'm going to remind you to text my friend Mark at Riverbend Ranch. All right, you text pound 55 meat to my friend Mark at 904-234-4893. You're going to get a special offer. You're going to get some of the best steak, no hormones, no antibiotics, right from the ranch, right to your doorstep. Trust me, some of the best steak and meat you'll ever have. I guess I am the meat guy. I love representing all these great companies. I love coming on here and talking ball with all of you. It's going to be an exciting time for our Jacksonville Jaguars. Camp is right around the corner. What's today, the 10th, 11th? What's today? 10th?
11th, I believe.
11th.
11th, yep.
They've got 2 weeks. You know how fast it's going to fly by? It's going to fly by for the players. It's going to be like tick, tick, tick for us. But for the players and staff, next thing you know it, they're in camp. And it is a grind, there's no doubt. Especially, look, the players grind, the coaches really grind. Because not only after practice, when they're tired too, they're going to break down film. They're getting ready for the next day's practice. They're getting it all together. It's nonstop. I tell you, I remember Steve Szabo, my linebacker coach, you could tell the minute he walked into the meeting room if he just got his ass chewed by Coughlin or not. You know, like because he'd just be pissed off coming in the room, middle of camp, not shaving, gruff as all get out. And, that was just part of the whole thing.
Well, if you're
no question,
it's not that mentally tough if you're urban because you just go to Taco Lou at like 5 p.m.
Unbelievable. Hey, this story, I'm not going to get into it. I want to know more, but the story up in Northwestern's really boggling to me.
Oh,
it's
my
just
God.
like, we would never do that. Like, I'm just speaking from Boston College. We would, hazing, okay, maybe a little. You got to sing a song. You got to shave your head. Whatever. It was nothing. But this stuff that's being, like, what?
Like abuse. Like abusive
First of all,
stuff, yeah.
Thereuld be too many fights. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There'd be too many fights. Be like, you're not doing that. I'm not doing that. I don't know. That just seems, so wild. And then Fitzgerald, he's a renowned coach. Prior to this stuff, he's had a great reputation, and I don't know. If I was ever a coach, I'd be like, you're not hazing anybody. Shut up. You know what? You want to go kick his ass? Go kick his ass on the field. Legally. If that's what you want to do. And by the way, the guys that always hazed, and no disrespect to my teammates, and they were the pros too, they were never the guy. They were always this, the backup that thought he was, it was never, no star player like hazed.
You mean to tell me?
Starter hazed. It was always like those guys, like in college, it would always be the guys that, they're good dudes, but they weren't going to play, but they felt like this power over the freshmen, like, I mean, like, shut up. Like, what are you talking about?
You mean to tell me?
Start. Like, what's wrong with you?
You mean to tell me Trevor Lawrence isn't sticking Baby Ruths in people's lockers and giving people noogies? And
Right. I mean.
That is actually a really good point that I've never thought about. It's never like the studs of the team.
They don't care.
You know what I mean? It's always that, backup.
Yeah,
backup
just being a
tackle
jerk
that never plays.
Trying to be a tough guy, trying to be, relevant. I can watch what I do to the rookie.
That just feels this superiority because he's older.
Yeah.
Basically. Yeah.
I tell you, when I was a rookie with the Saints in 1993, I've told you this, Vaughn Johnson was just awesome to me. So was Sammy Mills. Those were the two starting inside linebackers for the Saints. And they were Pro Bowlers. They were all-star players. I'll never forget my first minicamp. Get signed by them as a rookie free agent, go to minicamp in Louisiana, and we're out there in just shoulder pads and helmets. And Vaughn Johnson, who's 6'3", 250, can run like a slot receiver and move like a slot. It was just unbelievable. He's playing cover 2. He was the will linebacker. He goes out to cover number 2 across the field, and he covers him like glue. And it was like one of those little shifty wide receivers. I was like, oh my gosh, this is unbelievable. And then Sammy Mills, 5'9", 230, he would buck guys to their knees. He'd get right under their chin, dropping guys 100 pounds heavier than him. Just unbelievable football players. Never once. Only thing Vaughn ever said to me, well, he said a couple things to me, but about any kind of this, hazing, you did have to shave your head. I had a really short haircut, so I thought I didn't have to. One day before practice, Vaughn Johnson leaned over and he goes, yo, I forget what he called me, T or something like that. And I leaned forward, he goes, either you shave your head or I'm gonna. I said, no problem. I got up, I went to the trainer. I'm like, hey, can I borrow a pair of clippers? One in front of the mirror, shave my head off. That was about it. I had to sing a song.
If your hair's really short anyways.
I didn't care, whatever. It's no big deal. I shaved my eyebrows for crying out loud.
I would have not been happy about said situation.
No, you wouldn't. Oh, yeah. But it grows back. I mean, who cares? And you know what?
Yeah, that's true.
When you're sweating the amount of sweat you sweat in camp, You don't care about your hair. Trust me. You care too. Or I don't. I never cared about it. But yeah, I'm not. I would never. You know, you got to sing a song. You got to do something like that. That's fine. But there's no beating anybody up. You know, there's no. Now, if the rookie doesn't comply to what you're asking and it's nominal, and then you do something, okay, I get it. As long as it's not too bad. You know, it can't be assault. You know, I forget in the Saints camps, someone got tied to the flagpole and taped like overnight, and they had shaving cream all. I mean, they did something.
Oh my God!
Yeah,
overnight.
Yeah. Well, maybe not. I think the coach cut him loose. Somebody cut him loose, but they went to bed like him at the flagpole. I wasn't a part. I was not obviously a part of that. But I'm trying to think if there was. It was. Oh, the Jags. Yeah, that was pretty funny. We had a rookie that got on, you know, you had to sing a song at dinner.
Yeah.
That's all we asked him to do. And he was a rookie from Georgia. Marlis was his name. And defense tackle, big guy. And he gets up in front of the mic. He's like, I'm not singing, and I'm in room 304 if anyone's got a problem with that. And the whole room was like, ooh, like, and I'm just sitting there going, you dummy. That was like, one of the dumbest things a rookie can do. All they're asking you to do is sing your fight song or whatever, and you're going to do that. Anyway.
Bro, just have fun with it. It's like.
Right, who cares? Who cares?
Like the video of it was during a Hard Knocks last year of Aiden Hutchinson doing Billie Jean.
Yeah, Billie Jean.
That was great.
Hey, listen, he went out and had 9 sacks. He can dance and sing whatever he wants.
And it's like,
as far
bro,
as I'm concerned.
He's the second overall pick.
Yeah.
Everyone's looking for a reason to mess with Aiden Hutchinson.
Yeah, right. And he pulls that out.
They make him do the sing. He does. The whole team loves it.
Yeah.
They're freaking out.
Yeah,
they're like, this is great.
At first, I didn't think it was cool, but then when he gets 9 sacks or whatever, I'm like, all right, it's pretty cool. If he can do that and back it up. Anyway, so just to finish up the show, the next night, I'm walking down from meal at dinner. We got night meetings, which I always hated. I got a couple cookies. I got my sweats on because it's cold inside the stadium or in the tunnel and whatnot where our meetings were. And as I'm coming through the hallway, Gary Walker, one of our defensive tackles, and like 4 other dudes have Emarlis taped up, and they're carrying him. And I just happened to like catch them go by, and I'm like, and I'm like, G-Funk, what are you guys doing? He's like, we're throwing his ass in the cold tub. And he had his wrists taped, his ankles taped. They had shaved his eyebrows off, gave him a reverse mohawk.
Oh my God!
And getting ready to throw him in. And I was like, whoa, whoa, whoa! I'm like, you might not be able to get him out. Like, don't, you know, he might sink to the bottom. Like, I don't know. Don't throw him in. And G-Funk stops and he's like, yeah, you're right. He drops him down and they leave him. And I'm standing there and the poor kid, he's a rookie. He was crying. I'm like, you should have never said that. Like, you should have never said that.
Just sing, bro.
I know. Just sing.
Pick a song everyone knows and just sing.
I felt bad for the kid. I really did, man. That was he was traumatized.
Oh,
but
my
they didn't
God.
beat him up or anything, but they did. They hog-tied him and shaved his brows off and the reverse mohawk. And I don't know. I finished my cookies and went into the into the meeting room. I didn't have that traumatic experience. But, yeah, hazing, yeah, a little bit's all right, you know, but not what is being allegedly going on. I mean, goodness, what the heck is going on there? That's just unbelievable. Hopefully justice will prevail. And, hey, you know what? I don't know if it's a case of too big for your britches, but you should never get too big for your britches and think you can do whatever you want whenever you want. We went through that with Urban, didn't we? He thought he's big shot, could do whatever. I'm Mr., you know, blah, blah, blah. Smell you later. That probably and should happen if everything is true. Again, I don't know the entire story. All right, that's going to do it for us. We'll be back on Friday. I'll be back on the radio, of course, at Jaguars Today with Mike Dempsey and Fat Tony. Looking forward to that. And I'll be back right here in the 1010 XL Podcast Studios, as I always am. Make sure you check out all the great content, Gator-related, Jaguar-related, and others. I think the Seminoles are represented somewhere in the podcast world. Yes, they are, Graham March says. So check that out on the app, the 1010XL app, or at 1010XL.com. So until next time, y'all stay safe out there. You be cool. Take it easy. Take it slow. Work hard. Party harder. And get some sleep if you can fit it all in. That'll do it for me right here on Catching Up with Tommy Mack. Peace.